2006, Berlin, the World Cup Final. Zidane became part of football history. He had received a red card, he had headbutted someone, and on the biggest stage in the world, in the final match of his career, he created an incident unlike anything football had ever seen. The real question is this: why did he do it? In this video, I'm going to explain these things. What did Materazzi say to him that night? What exactly happened on the pitch that day? And why does Zidane still believe, even 20 years later, that he has no regrets? Enjoy the video. Before we go to 2006, let's quickly go back a little. Because to understand that day, you need to truly understand Zidane. Zinedine Zidane was born in Marseille in 1972. His family had immigrated from Algeria. Like many other legends, Zidane also came from a difficult life. But Zidane had something that other people didn't have. When he played football, he forgot everything else. On the pitch, he transformed into a completely different person. He looked slow, but his reactions were unbelievably fast. He would receive the ball, take one glance, and with that single glance, he would strategically read the entire field. It was as if he controlled the timing, the players he would pass to, everything. He calculated every tiny detail. He made his name at Juventus. He became a legend at Real Madrid, Champions League, La Liga. You could say he had won titles in every possible arena. And then came the 1998 World Cup. France became champions on home soil. Zidane scored 2 goals in the final. It was as if he was declaring to the country and to the entire world, "I am the star." That night, everyone in France accepted his greatness. Not only France, the entire world respected him now. By 2006, Zidane was 34. For football, those were considered the final years of a career. In fact, he had already retired from football a year earlier. Then the French national team called him back. It was almost like receiving a message saying, "We need you." France's squad at the time looked weak, and going into a World Cup without Zidane did not look promising. Zidane returned. The eyes of the entire world were on him. And after returning, he took control again. The 2006 World Cup had finally begun. France struggled heavily in the early matches, but when Zidane was on the pitch, everything felt possible. They advanced all the way to the quarterfinals. They eliminated Spain. Then came the semifinals. They defeated Portugal too. And now it was time for the grand final. France would face Italy. At that time, Italy was one of the toughest defensive teams in the world. They had a traditional system. They were masters of pressure. Final day, Berlin. 70,000 people were there. The match started, and in the 7th minute, Zidane scored a penalty. Goal. But even that goal alone is legendary enough to deserve an entire video by itself. I'm sure you know that famous penalty. It felt as if everything that night was balanced on a tightrope, and only legends could control that balance. Around the world, people say this about that penalty: the ball respected Zidane. Italy equalized in the 19th minute. Materazzi scored with a header, and the match continued at 1-1. The score did not change for 90 minutes. Extra time began. Second half of extra time. Minute 110, Zidane and Materazzi were walking side by side. The cameras were focused on them. Everyone's attention was there. Suddenly, Zidane stopped and turned back. He headbutted Materazzi directly in the chest. Materazzi fell to the ground. The referee had not seen the incident. Only the 4th official had seen it, and he informed the main referee. Red card. The red card that would go down in history. Zidane walked off the pitch. The trophy was standing there, the trophy that even legends dream about lifting. He walked right past it. He didn't even look at it. That moment became one of the most iconic images in football history. Now, the part everyone knows ends here. What did Materazzi say? This is where the real video begins. That question has been asked ever since that night. For years, Materazzi refused to reveal the answer. Then, at one point, he denied it. Later, he partially admitted it. Eventually, a book was written about the incident. Think about how massive this moment was. An entire book was written. According to the stories, Materazzi did not directly swear at Zidane at first, and he supposedly did not pull his shirt either. He only said, "Give me your jersey after the match." Zidane responded aggressively, and in return, Materazzi insulted Zidane's mother and sister. All reports and information pointed in that direction. Only those two men know the complete truth. But lip-reading experts analyze the footage in detail, and the majority of them say the same thing. Materazzi said something extremely offensive about Zidane's family. Many years later, Zidane finally spoke about it in a documentary. He said very serious things about my mother and sister, he said, and I reacted as a human being. They asked him if he regretted it. No, he answered. He had no regrets. Because that night, Zidane did not react as a football player. He reacted as a human being. That is what makes the great legend both understandable and tragic at the same time. Understandable because no human being can simply ignore insults directed at their family. Tragic because that moment became the final memory of a legendary career. France lost that night in the penalty shootout. Zidane was not on the pitch anymore. Maybe they would have won if those events had never happened. Maybe if Zidane had stayed on the field, he would have lifted that trophy. That night could have ended very differently. Zidane's football career did not end with lifting a trophy. It ended with a red card. Every movement legends make becomes iconic. That night, did Materazzi say those words by accident? Or did he say them specifically to drive Zidane insane? Everyone who knows Italy's tactical intelligence during that night, did Materazzi say those words by accident? Or did he say them specifically to drive Zidane insane? Everyone who knows Italy's tactical intelligence during that era asks this question. At that time, Italy often used psychological tactics on the pitch to mentally break opposing players. This was something well known. Everyone accepted it. And Materazzi was exactly that kind of player. During matches, he constantly said things to opponents. So were the things he said to Zidane that night simply accidental? Or was there an organized plan to force Zidane off the pitch during the final? It's impossible to know the answer to that question. But one thing we know for certain is this. Materazzi knew exactly which words would drive Zidane crazy, and he chose to say those words on that exact night at that exact moment. 20 years have passed since that night. Zidane became a manager. He led Real Madrid to 3 consecutive Champions League titles. He had written a new story for himself. He continued making headlines. But that headbutt is still never forgotten. Every World Cup, it becomes a topic again. It was one of the most unforgettable moments in football history. One man was both right and wrong at the same time. And that man was also a legend, both human and legendary. 2006, Berlin, the final. The best player in the world in the final match of his career received a red card and walked off the pitch. He walked past the trophy. He never looked at it. And that scene became engraved in football history. Zidane did not win the trophy that night, but that night, everyone learned who he truly was. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.